Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Business of African Fashion podcast. So, on today's episode, I will be answering community questions. There's a link in the show notes if you have any questions about life, your entrepreneurial journey, your career, really anything, even money and personal finance as well. You can ask those questions with the link in the show notes, and I will do my best to answer. So today's question comes from somebody that's calling themselves Lola. Lola says, I'm just starting out. What can I do to take tangible steps towards building my business and my dream? Lola, this is a fantastic question, and thank you so much for sending it in. So I think you're on the right path, right? Like thinking about having a dream and thinking about what you want to do with your future, what you want to do with your life, and trying to come up with a strategy or a plan for how you're going to get there. So I want to commend you for that, first of all. And then I also want to say that since you're just starting out, the first thing I want you to do is to take the pressure off. So I know that, if you're active on social media online, you're probably being inundated and overwhelmed with pictures of people that are doing exceptionally well, people that are on different, lists, people who are making money, people who are quote unquote blowing, right? So I want you to take a pause on that for a second and maybe reduce that so it's not in your face all the time. I think there's time and space for seeing people's success, but that shouldn't be all you see, right? You need to create intentional spaces where you can also learn about the journey to get to that success. So the first thing I want you to do is turn down the volume on the people who are already successful, right? Good for them, congratulations, and wishing them all the best. But I need you to turn down a little, because I think that if you're the type of person that has a dream and a vision like this, then clearly you're not somebody who's lazy, you're not somebody who's uninspired. You already have a dream, you already have a vision. And seeing visions of other people who have been successful is good for motivation, and it's good for inspiration, and it's a good map to, be able to see that, okay, this thing that I want to do is possible, but you don't want that to be all you're consuming. So I want you to turn that down a little, and I want you to start intentionally searching for people who have shared the process of them getting to that success, which brings me to my first answer to your question. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do to take tangible steps towards your success is to read and to learn, right? So you want to build your knowledge first. There was this book I was reading the other day, listening to the audiobook. It's called Diary of a CEO, and one of the first points that he shared in that book was that it's very important to develop your knowledge first, right? Knowledge is the foundation of your success, and then applied knowledge is your skill. So I know you're probably already somebody who's gone to school. You've probably graduated already from what you've shared, right? And your learning never stops. I don't want you to adopt the mindset of just learning while you're in uni, and then after you graduate you just cap your learning there. No, you keep learning every day, and the best way to learn is to read, right? So start reading books, start reading blogs about people's process of reaching the success that they want to reach. Stop looking at just the success. Start looking at the people who are actually sharing behind the scenes and maybe giving you some step-by-step processes to get to that success, right? And I have some books that I'll recommend, and maybe I'll create like a resource in the show notes with some of my favorite books that I've read and I'm still planning to read, where you can gain some valuable knowledge. So number one thing I'll tell you, Lola, is start or continue to read and to learn. That will improve your knowledge, and that will give you a leg up, and it will help you get to your vision and your dream. Second thing I'll tell you is, this one sounds counterintuitive, but stay with me. You want to get paid to practice, right? So if you're in a current job right now, or you're working in a career, whatever it is that you're doing right now, that is your job or your responsibility, I want you to shift your mindset from thinking about that as, oh, this is just my day job that I'm doing before I get my big break. I want you to redirect or rewire your brain to think about it as, oh, I'm getting paid to learn, I'm getting paid to practice, right? So if you work in an office and let's say you work with a group of people and you have a team, think about it as, okay, I'm getting paid to learn how to work on a team. I'm getting paid to learn how to be a professional, right? And that's exciting. Like, how many people can say they get paid to learn, right? It sounds counterintuitive, right? So I want you to shift your perspective. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, if you're in a job where you are getting paid, right? If you have a day job, I want you to think about that as you're getting paid to practice, you're getting paid to learn. A lot of people underrate the job that they're currently working in because they see it as irrelevant to the dream that they're trying to get to. Or they see it as, this is just something that's holding me back before I get my big break. But really, the skills, the experience, the knowledge, and the people, the network that you build in your current job, your current position, wherever you are right now, is going to be really important in you getting to your final destination. So I want you to shift your perspective a little bit to have a little bit of insight there. All right. And then the third thing I'll tell you to do on your way to getting to your success, where you asked how you can take tangible steps. This was a question from Lola. So what I want you to do is I want you to document your behind the scenes. I want you to start having a way that you process or you document what you're working on. It can be a journal, a private journal. It can be a blog that you start writing. It can be a video or audio diary that you start doing on your phone. Just a way to get out your ideas, just a way to, have some form of like releasing the dream or the vision from all of it sitting in your head, right? To you actually putting pen to paper or, putting your hands to the keyboard to type whatever, right? So I want you to start documenting your journey. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be perfectly edited for YouTube or whatever. It can literally just be any form of media that you decide that you're going to use. It can be pen and paper. It can be a blog, video diary, audio diary, whatever you want it. But you need to make sure it's something that you can come back to, because I think in this journey of building your business, building your vision, building your dream, it's very, very easy to forget how far you've come. It's actually the easiest thing ever, is to just keep looking at the final destination that you're going to, and seeing how far it is from where you currently are. But you never take a step back to look back and look at how far you've come and be like, oh wow, I've actually come a long way, right? Sometimes you're in that middle point where the dream is still far, right? And that's what you're looking at, the faraway dream. But I want you to take a moment to look back to where you came from and applaud yourself for how far you've come. So thank you so much for sending in this question, Lola. This has been great. If you have any more questions, there will be a form in the show notes to fill out your questions. If you want to be kept anonymous, that's perfectly fine. This person's name was a pseudonym, by the way. I don't think it's their real name, but still, thank you for sending in your questions to podcast. And if you're not a part of the community, please join us on Mighty Networks. That link will be in the show notes as well. This is a community for African fashion entrepreneurs, people who have a dream, people who have a vision, people who do not want to settle for the life that they've been given or for the life that everybody else chooses, people who want to do something different and have a conviction that they can get there. This is your community. Make sure you join us, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.